All right, so you started working on this, and this is your review for tomorrow. If we don't get finished going over it now, I will upload another video with us, with me doing the whole thing, okay? But for those of you that have been absent, you want to pay close attention because you are still going to take the quiz tomorrow. There is another video that I'll put up from last week. I thought I had already uploaded it, but we'll get it on there. Mount Everest is the highest elevation in Asia. It's 29,028 feet above sea level. So how do I write 29,028 above sea level? Anthony?
Just to 29,028.
Well, is it positive or negative?
Positive.
How
because it's above sea level.
Above sea level.
And
I'm gonna
it
let you
says
pull that.
Mount Everest is the highest elevation.
Elevation. All right, but above sea level right there tells me that 29,028 is a positive number. The Dead Sea is the lowest, and it is 1,312 feet below sea level. So, what is the difference? What does difference tell us to do?
It tells you to subtract.
Subtract.
Difference.
Okay, difference means subtract. So, all right, Miss Walker's going to pull names for us. So, the difference, so 1,012 feet, 1,312 feet below sea level is a negative number, right?
I already figured it out.
And the difference in those looks like that. Okay? The difference in those looks like that. So, what have I got to do? You want, we got Addison. Addison's not here.
Right? Okay, just making sure. Eli's not here. I'm missing out the class, ain't we?
I don't know
Haley?
more Addison.
Is Haley here?
She was.
Okay, all right. Anthony?
All right, Anthony.
I put to 28,316.
All right, but
Because if you subtract them, but if you add.
you're not subtracting. But here's the thing. Look at this problem. Now, at this point, you need to look at your flow map. And what is the, right, we've got to KCO this. Is the problem addition?
No.
Everything has to be addition. Put that up. No calculators in this unit. Put the calculators in the zipper pouches. So, we've got to K, keep 29,028. C, change that to addition. O, make that the opposite, which makes it that. So what are we actually doing? We're actually taking 29,028 and adding 1,312 to it. 8 plus 2 is 10. 2, 3, 4, 3, 10. 30,340 feet is the difference, okay?
So all you're doing is keeping the same numbers and then flipping the other two and then add them?
Right, we're doing KCO. Keep it, change it, opposite.
Okay.
And that's on the video that I hadn't posted, the other video, and I'll get it posted, but I'll also give you the pages where we took the notes. Let me show you something else. So, here's Mount Everest. 29,028, okay? This is sea level, so we're going to call sea level is 0 on a number line, okay? All right? Here's the Dead Sea down here. The Dead Sea is down here at 1,312 feet, okay? I want to make this make sense to you. So this is negative 1,312 because it's below 0, all right? How far is 1,300. So what we're trying to find out is how far is this from this. Okay? We want to know how far this is from this. So let's just look at how far each one of them is from 0. Everybody open your eyes. Listen with your eyes. How far is each one of these from 0? So look at 1,312. All right, Ms. Walker, pull us a name. How far is 1,312 from 0?
Feature.
1,300.
It's 1,312, right? And then from how far is 29,028 from 0, Beecher?
29,000.
So this is, so to get from here to here, I'm going to take 1,312 steps, right? To get from here to here, I'm going to take an additional 29,028 steps, right? So together, the difference from here to here is going to be 30,340. Does that make sense? You're wanting the difference between the two. Basically, guys, difference. Circle the word difference and draw your arrow out here and put distance. When you're trying to find the difference in two places, you're looking at distance. My air's not coming on.
It's a little stumpy.
I'm going to have to. All right.
I feel fine, but
Difference is distance in these types of problems, okay? Difference is distance. So make sure you get these notes on your paper. Does anybody need a minute to get this? All right, I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Alexa, set a 30-second timer.
Tayshawn.
Alexa, stop. Okay. In Buffalo, New York. In Buffalo, New York. I gotta get me a fan blowing on me. I'm hot. The temperature was 14 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit in the morning. If the temperature dropped 7 degrees, what is the temperature now? So, it's 14 degrees. It's negative 14 degrees. And it's going to drop 7 degrees, right? Okay? So, let's look at it on a thermometer. Here's 0. Here's negative 14. It's at negative 14. It's going to drop 7 degrees. So it's at negative 21 degrees. Look at the number line over there on the wall. We're at negative 14. We're going to move away from 0 7 more. So we're going to be at negative 21. If we use our rules, this is a left and left, sorry. Left and left. So we add and keep the sign
So we always go to the left?
if it's negative.
Okay, so and then it's positive, we go to the right?
Mm-hmm. Left is negative, right is positive. Any questions about that? Has everybody got that one? A submarine was situated 800 feet below sea level. If it ascends 250 feet, what does the word ascend mean? It means to go up. So that's going to be a positive 250. What is the new position? So it's 800 feet below. It's at negative 800. And it ascends 250 feet. Okay? So, let's think about our rule. This is left and right. We've got left and right. We use different arms, right? So if we use different arms, what do? We're going to subtract. So 800 minus 250. It's 520. Wait, no. 550. I knew that, didn't I? 550, because I can't read my own handwriting. 550. 800 is the farthest from 0, so it's a negative 550. Let's look at it right here on a picture. Here's 0. We're at negative 800, right? Here's 800. Here's 750, 700, 650, 600, 550, 500. This is 500. This is 550. This is all negative, okay? It ascends 250 feet. So from 800 to 700 is, it's going up, right? Is 100. Here's another 150. This is 700. This is 600. Negative. You see what I did? If you think about it on the number line, or if you think about it number line wise. What? Why are you shaking your head?
And
it went up 250 feet. I went up from 800 to 700 is 100. 700 to 600 is another 100. And then another 50 is at negative 550. Why are you shaking your head?
because it doesn't say 30. If it was 3, it would be at 550. It says 2. 2 minus 8 equals 6.
It sure does. But I can't take 8 from 0, so I have to borrow from that 8 and make it a 7.
You're not supposed to subtract, remember?
Yes, you are subtracting, because 800 plus a negative 800 plus a positive 250. You subtract and take the side of the one the farthest from 0. That is the right answer. Yes. All right. In the Sahara Desert, one day was 136 degrees Fahrenheit. In the Gobi Desert, the temperature is of 50 degrees, negative 50 degrees was recorded. What is the difference between these two temperatures? What is difference? What I tell you difference is going to mean if you're thinking about a number line. So, on your paper, I want you to circle difference and come out here and put distance. And I want you to the easiest thing to do with these kinds of problems is to draw a picture. So, in the Sahara Desert, and I draw it vertically because of the thermometer, okay? The Sahara Desert, it's 136 degrees. That's a positive 136, right? The Gobi Desert, it was negative 50 degrees, right? So, let's think distance. How far because we're wanting to know how far it is from here to here. What is the difference? How far is it from here to here? Okay? So, how far is it from negative 50 to 0? And then from 0 to 136 is how far? So, if we put that 136 with that 50, we get 186. And so the difference between those two temperatures is 186 degrees. You need to sit up. You need to sit up. Yes, ma'am. You need to sit up. Your checking account is overdrawn by $50. What does overdrawn mean? All right, I'm going to pause for just a second. I got some folks still writing, okay? I'm going to give you 30 seconds to get caught up. Alexa, set a 30-second timer. Isn't it? Yeah. Alexa, stop. All right. Your checking account is overdrawn by $50. What does overdrawn mean? Is that a positive or a negative? Negative. So we got negative $50 right here. You write a check for $20. Is writing a check for $20 going to be a positive or a negative? It's going to be a negative because you're taking more money out of your account. You're taking money. If you write a check, you're taking money away from your bank account. Right? So we started with a negative 50, and then we took $20 more away. So we've got a negative 50 plus the negative 20. So our answer is going to be, this is a left and left. So they're the same, so we add and keep the sign. Negative 70 is where we're sitting right now in our bank account.
Okay, so if we had a left and right like we did on number 3, what would it be, negative or positive?
You left and a left and a right movement. When it's different, you take the difference, so you subtract and take the sign of the one that's the farthest from 0. That's how you determine the sign. So you first do the math, do the subtraction. Second, here's your sign. And in that other video I was telling you about that I forgot to put up last week, it's all in that video. So when you go back and rewatch it, it'll all make sense. You're doing real good though. A roller coaster begins at 90 feet above ground level. So is above ground level going to be a positive or a negative? Positive. It's going to be a positive. Y'all okay, boys? Then it descends 105 feet. So that's going, and it descends 105 feet. Find the height of the coaster now. So, this is a right and a left. Do you agree? So, if we right and left, if we do different arms, what do? We're going to subtract. So we first do the math. So 105 minus 90 is 15, right? Here's your sign. You're going to take the sign that's the farthest, take the one that's the farthest from 0, which is what? That negative 105. That means our 15 is going to be negative. So the answer is negative 15 feet is where it is after. Questions? You okay? Huh? Sure? You getting all this? Ask me questions, guys. You have a quiz tomorrow. You have a quiz tomorrow. If you can do this, you will be able to do your quiz. If you can do this, you will be able to do your quiz. All right? Everybody got all this? Ready for me to move on? Is everybody good? All right, number 7. Stephen has overdrawn his checking account by $27. If it's overdrawn, what is that, positive or negative? That's a negative, negative 27. His bank charged him $15 for an overdraft fee. So is that a positive or a negative? That's another negative because it's a fee. coming out of my checking account, and a negative 15. Then he quickly deposited $100. If I deposit, is that positive or negative? That's a positive. I'm putting money in my checking account, and so that's a good thing. That's a positive. When I put money in my checking account, that's good. Good is positive. When I take money out of my checking account, that is bad. Bad is negative. Okay? Mr. Bosworth doesn't like me taking money out of our checking account, spending all kind of money. That's a bad thing. Okay? That's a negative. So when you take money away from your checking account, it's a negative. When you put money into your checking account or your savings account, it's a positive. Okay? Did you have a question? So plus 100. Now, we have to start right here and do this by order of operations because we have 3 different things to do, right? So let's start with that negative 27 plus a negative 15. Negative 27 is left. Negative 15 is left. So that's the same. So what are we going to do?
Same sum.
Same as sum. So sum means we add. You with me? Or are you with me?
Negative 40.
You with me? You with me? Smile at me then. Okay, so 27 plus 15, because we do the math. Remember, we just do the math, then we get our sign. So we're going to add. 5 plus 7 is 12. Carry your 1, 2, 3, 4, 42. And it's going to be negative because we add and keep, right? We add and keep. So now what do we have right here? We have a negative 42 plus 100. Is everybody with me? Now, this is a left and a right. So now what are we going to do? Now we're going to subtract. So we're going to do the math. 100 minus 42. That is going to be... All right, let's go back over real quick. Let's watch me subtract this. I can't take 2 from 0. I have to go all the way over here to this. That becomes a 9. That becomes a 10. 2 from 10 is 8. 4 from 9 is 5. So we now have it's a positive $58 in our account because the 100 is positive. Okay? We've been videoing this, so you'll be able to go back and get the beginning of it off the video. Okay? All right, any questions? All right, I'm going to pause it right here for just a minute. So, number 8, on the first play, the football team lost 6 yards. So is that a positive or negative? Negative 6. And here's the thing, guys. The word and is going to be critical because that's where that plus sign comes in. And on the second play, they lost 5 yards. So what is that? Negative 5. And, all right. So if they lost, all right, so now looking at this, that is left and left. If we're the same direction, same arm, what do we do? Huh? We're going to add. 6 plus 5 is 11. Keep the sign. Here's your sign. Remember? How you doing back there? No, your neighbor. I don't ever hear anything out of him. I never know how he's doing. The price of a share of stock started the day at $37. Circle 37 is where we're starting. $37. And it went down $3. So what are we doing here? 37 plus the negative 3. All right, so all right, we're going to stop right there. Where does that leave us? Do that first. So this is a right and a left. What do we do? We're going to subtract and get 34. And keep the sign. Which sign do we want to keep? Or which sign do we want? 37 or negative 3? 37. We want the positive 37 because it's the farthest from 0. We subtract and take the sign of the one that's the farthest from 0. Okay? Now, all right, so we did that. Now we go up 1 degree. So, and it went up 1. So now we've got 35, right? Is everybody with me? All right, let me do this. I'm going to do something. Equals a positive 34. Now, I'm going to change colors. And it went up 1, giving us 35. Right? Alexa, stop. Right? And, Alexa, stop. And it went down 7. So what's 35 minus 7? H? 35 minus 7. You should have that done. What number are we on? Okay? 35 minus 7. Because look, this is a right and left. Does everybody see that? Do you see that? That's a right and a left. So we've got 35 minus 7, which is 28. Do you agree? 35 minus 7 is 28. And we went up 4. 28 plus 4 is 32. And that's where we ended up. Do you see how I just took my starting point and then went to the next, did the first, then did the next one, then did the next one? Instead of writing it all down at one time, me and my buddy partner over here, we wrote it all down and then kind of broke it down. When I went over it with her, this one, we did it like this. And I think this seemed to make more sense. Okay? But you got to do each little pair. Do it in pairs. Okay? Do it in pairs. So that you can look left and right. Are the signs the same? Know what to do. Okay? Questions? Anybody? Any questions?
Yes. So, if it's a right and a left, the farthest number away from 0, you go whichever way.
Yes.
So if it's a negative, like 15, it would
The answer will be negative. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, and again, that's going to be in that other video that I'm uploading, and I will promise you it will be uploaded this afternoon, okay? We actually were practicing it the whole time in class, and I've got another packet of papers to give you that you can do some practice too. And you don't have to, you won't have to do it all tonight, but at least you'll have all the handouts that you can go back through and watch the videos and see. And then we'll see how you do. I think you're going to be fine tomorrow. All right. Yes. Yes, sir. I'll show you. All right, an elevator went up 15 floors. So we're going to start. It went up 15. That's a positive 15, right? Is everybody with me? And down 9 floors. So now we went down 9. So 15 plus a negative 9, right? So what do we have right here, Reese? This is a right and a left. So what am I going to do? I'm going to subtract. 15 minus 9 is what? 6. And which one's the farthest from 0? 15. So that 6 is going to be positive. Okay? And it went up 11 floors. So now I've got 6 plus 11, which is what? 17. And it went down 19 floors. So now I've got positive 17, negative 19. That's a right and a left. So is that alike or different?
Wait, different.
Right, left, different. So what am I going to do? Subtract. And so I come over here. 19 minus 17 is 2. And why is it negative?
Because negative 19 is farther away.
Yes, ma'am. Negative 19 is farthest away from 0. She's been out almost a whole week. Walked in here today and has picked up on it. Those of you that have been here a whole week ought to be getting it too. It don't mean she's any smarter. It just means she's really paying attention to what I'm doing. Okay? All of you are doing a great job looking at me. And looking at me. But are you really listening with your eyes? Or are you thinking about other things? If you're thinking about anything other than what I'm doing right now at the moment, if you're letting your brain wander, every time your mind wanders, you miss something. Okay? Every time your thoughts go to something else, you miss something. Sometimes you can't help it, and I understand that. But when that happens, stop yourself, shake yourself out of it, and then ask me a question. Ask me to repeat it. Okay? Just say, Ms. Foster, can you repeat that one more time? Will you do that one more time? And as long as you're not asking me to repeat every single one, you know what I'm saying? I don't mind going back over something. I understand. Sometimes your brain's gonna fail you, okay? And that's where you got to take charge and say, no, I need to see that again, okay? Just raise your hand and ask me, and I will go back over it, or I'll come over and do some just sitting with you for a minute if I need to, okay? And I'm saying that with the video live, hopefully, because I want parents to hear. Now, I'm going to stop us right here on going over this. I will get you a video uploaded of the entire study guide. Actually, no. Let's jump over and do one on the next page. I will have the entire study guide video uploaded for you. Is there one or two over here?
Two.
All right, I only have one up here, so that's okay. We're going to do this one together. And then I need to talk to you real quick. I've got to hurry, and I need to talk to you about how you're going to study, okay? Which I can do that if we'll take about 2 minutes if I need to today. When you come back in here for our second steps for ELT. All right, a quarterback is sacked for a loss of 4 yards. All right, what is this asking us to do? It's asking us to correct somebody else's work, right?
Correct the error.
Right. Well, the only way to successfully correct an error is to do it yourself. Ignore their work. The first thing you do is do your own work. I never grade your work without a key that I have made myself. Ms. Walker doesn't grade your work until she has a key that she's made herself, so that we can look at our key and look at your work to know what you did wrong. Alexa, stop. Okay? So first thing you do, ignore everything, pretend nothing's there, and do your own work to start with. Okay? So that's what we're going to do real fast. A quarterback is sacked for a loss of 4 yards. A loss of 4 yards is going to be a -4, right? On the next play, his team loses 10 yards, and they lost 10 yards. So that's going to be a -14. Do you agree? Then the team gains 12 yards. So -14 plus 12. Those are different, so I subtract, and it's going to be a -2.
Because -14 is defined from...
So now, tell me. So now, look at our work. Look at their work. And circle what they did wrong. Where do you think their mistake was?
On the board.
Right here. They represented the 4 with a positive instead of a negative, didn't they? So the 4 should have been positive. The 4 should have been positive. Now, guys, this is this problem right here. This is what your extended response on your quiz will look like. Okay? This is what your extended response on your quiz will look like. Now, right here for share a strategy, I want you to come up with a way that how did you know what to do? Just write down in a simple sentence on how did you know what to do. And it can't be because Ms. Bosworth told me to. She put it on the board. Okay? Now, real quick.
So if it was positive 4, it was already positive 4.
But it should have been a negative.
Oh.
Look right here. Here's our work. Here's our work. Here's their work. There's where the mistake was. It should have been a negative 4. And I should have written the word negative right there, Reese. The 4 should have been negative. Look, that just goes to show how many of you were paying attention to what I was writing. Because every one of you should have been like, wait! I didn't do that on purpose. My brain moves faster. I mean, look, I can't use Monday as an excuse. I make errors like that 7 days a week, all the time. So you better watch me. I don't do it on purpose. I don't have to do it on purpose. Okay, so now let's talk about how you're going to study. Turn this over to the back. Real quick. Tonight, you're going to go home, and I'm talking to everybody because I'm probably going to put this video up, or because I now have an iPhone and I can do all kind of stuff on iMovie, I'm going to merge me a video like I wanted. I can edit my video. So, here's how this is going to work. You ready? You're going to go home this afternoon. Are you listening? All right. You're going to go home this afternoon and you're going to pull up Google Classroom. And in Google Classroom, it's going to say Unit 1, it'll say Adding and Subtracting Integers Quiz 1 Review. Okay? In that review, there are going to be several things. There will be a video of me going over the study guide. Okay? I am going to give anybody who does not take their Chromebook home a copy of the key to take home with them so that they can check theirs while they're at home. You won't have to have electronics, baby. Just give me a minute. You are going to watch the video and make sure you have your study guide finished and corrected, okay? Then there will also be the paper copy of the key on Google Classroom. So you can go back to my paper copy and look at any work, okay? Then there will also be a blank copy of the study guide on Google Classroom, okay? So you went home, you're going home tonight. You're going to sit down in front of your computer. You're going to open up Google Classroom. You're going to check your study guide again and make sure you got it all corrected, okay? Then you're going to take your study guide and put it off to the side somewhere, all right? And you're going to get a sheet of notebook paper, some of that notebook paper that you got from the school supplies. And you're going to open up the blank document, the one that does not have the answers on it. Are you following me? Is everybody listening? And you're going to use that blank study guide document as a practice quiz. And you're going to do it again. Do it again. Go through it just like you would. Do it again. Just on notebook paper. Read the question. Do it. When you finish, go back to my key. Check your work. Any that you missed, go back to the video and find where I explained it on the video. And you know, when you're in the shower and you're washing your hair, and if you read the back of the shampoo bottle, it says, wash, rinse, repeat. Well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to wash, rinse, repeat. We're going to wash, we're going to check. We're going to rinse, we're going to do it by ourselves again. We're going to check. And if you still didn't get it, if there's still some you didn't get, go put that piece of paper to the side, get you another sheet of notebook paper, go back to that blank document, do it again. Go to my key, check it. If you miss any, go to the video. Watch me do it again. You see what we're doing? Guys, you've never been taught how to study math. And the only way to study math is to practice. But what's the point in practicing if you don't know what the right answers are and you don't have your teacher there to explain it if you miss it on the night before the quiz, right? What's the point? I don't know how to do it anyway. Well, I fixed that for you because I'm going home with you in a video. And I will be there to teach it and reteach it and reteach it and reteach it. Okay? And if you have one or two, and if you've done that and you've done it, and you have one or two that you just can't get, you send me a message on Remind or in Google Classroom, and I will do a Google Meet with you tonight and explain it face to face. Okay? I might do a Google Meet for anybody that wants to get on, or a Zoom for anybody that wants to get on for additional review tonight. I haven't decided for sure. How many of you would get on Zoom if I did a Zoom to go back over this tonight before the quiz? Okay. You would get on the Zoom? All right. Well, I may just very well do a Zoom tonight for just a few minutes. It probably will be 7:30. Is that okay? I have to go. I have some things I got to do after school. About 7:30. Is that too late? Is that a good time? All right. That's perfect. All right. 7:30. 7:30 Zoom. Okay, I'll send it out in Google Classroom in your Google Stream. All right, we've got to go. Hi, guys. Okay, so we're about to get started on this study guide. This is going to be kind of a conglomeration on this video. I'm going to pull in what we did in class today. I'm going to go over the whole study guide on this video. Then I'm going to, at the end of the video, there'll be video of the class. Actually, I'm not really sure how I'm going to pull it all together, but you're going to have multiple things to look at. Be sure and go back and watch any of the other videos that I post tonight, and we'll have our Zoom at 7:30. So I will see you all then. All right, so here we go. Operations with rational numbers. Mount Everest is the highest elevation in Asia. Is 29,028 feet above sea level. I'm trying to do two things at one time, and there we go. I'm getting my other key over here so I can kind of look at it too. I'm going to use my little erasable pens so that you can see everything, and I can put some color on here for you. So, 29,028 feet above sea level. Above sea level means that that's going to be a positive number. So we've got 29,028. The Dead Sea is the lowest elevation, is 1,312 feet below sea level. So what is the difference? Okay, now this is a different kind of problem. When you're asked for the difference, and I told you this in class today, again, when you're asked for the difference, we know that this is going to be a negative 1,312. It wants the difference, and we know difference means to subtract. So we're going to have, that's going to be that minus a negative. Okay? So when we do that, we look at it, and then we go back to our flow map with our bubble on it. And give me just a second. I'm going to grab one. I know the video is just ticking away, but I'm going to grab us one to see. Mine's not color, it's black and white, but again, is my problem addition? You should have one of these in your OMG. So now that we're here, we come to this. Once we get our problem, we come to this. Is my problem addition? No. The answer is no. If the answer is no, KCO. This is our KCO. So we have to keep the first term, change this to addition, make this the opposite. Okay? Once we do that and we add, we have 29,028. Because we don't have a calculator, be sure to line everything up the way it's supposed to be lined up. 8 and 2, 4, 3, 0, 3. So it's 30,340 feet above the difference or the distance between the two. Now, let's talk a minute about what that looks like. So, I'm going to draw you this with a little bit of color. So, here is the ground. The ground is green. There's 0. Okay? There's 0. And we got Mount Everest right here. Mount Everest, that is 29,028 above sea level. Okay? 0 is sea level. 0 is your sea level. Sea level means 0. All right? And then we have the Dead Sea. That is, got our Dead Sea down here. And it is 1,312 below sea level. I'm going to kind of draw our sea level on over so you can see. So from here to here is 1,312. And what we want to know is, where's my red? Let's see it. The distance, we want to know what is this distance from here to here. So from here to here. What is this black line? The length of that black line. Well, we know that from 1,312 up to 0 is going to be 1,312. So we know that this is going to be 1,312. And we know that from Mount Everest down to 0 is going to be 29,028. So when we take those and put them together, we get the length of that line, which is what we did right there. So if you need to draw a picture, if you need to do it mathematically, it is totally up to you, whatever you are most comfortable with. Something else that you want to keep in mind is difference is distance. Difference is distance. Okay, one thing I'm going to do, I know that I got through all of, I'm going to kind of start at the back. I'm going to flip on over to the back. We're going to go backwards and let me do the ones with you that I know we did not get to in class, and then I can merge these two videos if I need to. Okay? So let's go right here to Michelle had a balance. So come over here to this one. I'm going to kind of work backwards so that you can make sure that I get all of these that I know that we didn't get to in class, and then I can merge these two videos if I need to. So Michelle had a balance of, now remember, when you're doing error analysis, put a note on here. Do my work first. Before I even got on here and did this with you, look, I've already done this study guide once. I've already done it. So that I can make sure that if I were to look at your work and look at my work, but I can't do any checking of your work until I've done my work. So you got to make yourself a key. So we're going to work the problem, then we'll go back. Don't even look at this right now. Just ignore it. Michelle had a balance of -43 in her account. -$43. So we got -$43. The bank charged her a fee of $15 for having a negative balance. So, and, this is and, so that means we got a plus sign right there. The bank charged her a fee of $15, which gives another, because this fee is going to be a negative amount because we're taking money out of our account. Remember, if we take money out, it's a negative. If we put money in, it's a positive, okay? So, here's our problem. Let's work it. This is a left movement and a left movement, so they are the same. And if they are the same, we want to get the sum. And we're going to add and keep. Okay? So, add first. First, we do the math. we're just going to come, first we do the math. So I'm just going to come right down here in the corner and do 43 plus 15. Not going to worry about any signs. 8, that's 58. We add, do the math. Here's your sign. Keep the same sign. So now she has a negative $58. So we come back up here and look at what they did and compare our work to their work. And we see right here is where the mistake is. Right there is where the mistake is. All right, so here's how we're going to explain the error. We're going to say she had a negative $43 and was charged a fee, charged a $15 fee. Which would be negative 15. These should be added, not subtracted. And then I want you to come down here and do your own little strategy. All right? So we did this one in class today, but I'll go ahead and come back up here and do it again real quick. Again, we're going to read the problem, ignore what they're doing. Quarterback is sacked for a loss of 4 yards. Loss of 4 yards is a negative 4. And on the next play, his team loses 10 yards. So, and is a plus. He loses 10 yards, so that's a negative 10. And then the team gains 12 yards. And they gain 12 yards. So, let's see what we need to do. We start right here first. This is a left and a left, which means they are the same. So we add 14, keep the sign, plus 12. Now this is a left and a right movement. So those are different. So we subtract, take the sign of the one that's the farthest from 0, which would be that 14. So now we've got an answer of negative 2. Come back up here and compare what we did to what they did. And we look right here. And the way we're going to explain this is a loss of 4 yards should be negative 4, not positive 4. Okay. All right. What is the distance between negative 21 and 6 on a number line in units? Well, I'm going to go ahead and tell you. Distance, we know distance is absolute value. Distance is absolute value. So, what we're going to want to do here is take the absolute value of 21 plus the absolute value of 6 to get their distance. Because if you look right here, here's 0. Negative 21's down here. Positive 6 is up here. From here to here is 21 units, 21 steps. From here to here is 6 steps. So when you put those together, you get 27. Doing the distance like this right here is the same thing as doing the absolute value. This is 21 plus 6, which is 27. All right? You take 6 steps forward and 8 steps backwards. How many steps have you taken? This again, how many steps have you taken? This is distance. You can not take negative steps. Remember when we talked about if you drive your car backwards, it doesn't make a negative number? Okay? It doesn't do a negative miles on your car. We can't take negative steps. So again, this is absolute value. So what you're doing mathematically is you're taking the absolute value of 6 plus the absolute value of -8. It says steps backwards, so that's represented as the integer of -8. But in order to know how many steps you've taken, you're actually doing absolute value. So 6 plus 8 is 14. You've taken 14 steps. If you think about it on the number line, here's 0. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm going to come back and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, this is where you will count your humps. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we count our humps. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I took 14 steps. Now, I took 14 steps. It doesn't matter where I end up. I took 14 steps, which is right there. Okay? An elevator went up 15 floors. And I like writing the word "and" on here because I think it's important for you to remember. And down 9 floors, and up 11 floors, and down 19 floors. So we went up 15, so that's a positive 15, and down 9, and up 11, and down 19. So we're going to start right here. And we come right over here. This is a right and a left, so we're going to subtract 15 minus 9. Is 6. So 6 plus, so then we're going to do 6 plus 11. And 6 plus 11 is 17. And 17 plus a -19, this is a right and a left, so we're going to subtract and get 2. And so the net change just means how much change was there from where they started to where they finished. And so they were down 2 floors from where they started. Net change is just how much between the start and finish. The net change is how much between the start and finish. All right, we'll do one more and then I'm gonna have to stop and get on here and do this Zoom, and then I'll get this all loaded back into Google Classroom for you. The price of a share of stock started the day at $37. So it started at 37. And during the day it went down 3 and up 1 and down 7 and up 4. So we went down 3 and up 1 and down 7 and up 4. And then we're going to piece this together. 37, this is a right and a left. So that's going to be 34 plus 1. 34 plus 1 is 35. And 35 plus a -7. That's a right and a left. So we're going to subtract. Alexa, stop. And we get 28. And 28 plus 4 is 32. Okay? So I'm going to pause here, and then I'll come back and fill in the rest of these and get this uploaded to Google Classroom for you. Okay, guys, we're going to finish this up. We just did our Zoom, and let's go ahead. We're going to jump back over here to number 2 now, and just, well, I'll go backwards. Make sure. We'll just keep going up. So we were going from the bottom up. We're on number 8. So here we go. I'm going to go kind of quick because I do know that some of this is in the video from today. So I'm probably going to just do 8 and 7, and then I'm going to merge the videos together, and you'll have all of it in one video, and it'll kind of be some of what we did in class today and some of what's on here and just kind of a little bit of a little hodgepodge, but it'll all be there, okay? On the first play, the football team lost 6 yards, and on the second play, the team lost 5 yards. What was their total change in yards? So they lost 6. That's going to be a -6. And they lost 5. This is a left and a left. Same. So we're going to get the sum, which will be 11, and keep the sign. All right. Steve has overdrawn his checking account. Overdrawn means that is a negative. So that's -$27. The bank charged him $15 for an overdraft fee. A fee is also a negative because so that's and. A fee is also a negative. So, and he had a $15 fee. What is his current balance? Oh, it says, and he deposited $100. When you deposit, you're putting money in. So that means that's a positive. So, and he put $100 in. So that's a positive. This -27 and -15 gives us a -42 plus 100. So he's going to have a positive $58 in the bank. Because this is a left and a right, we've got to subtract. And get 58. Okay. All right, so we did these in class today. There's one more thing, just a couple of things that I wanted to run through with you real quick, just some reminders before the quiz, because this is just some things that I saw when I was doing our little Zoom a few minutes ago that I want to make sure you're aware of for the quiz, okay? Absolute value. Here's some things to remember. All right. Let's just do us a little things to remember. Absolute value is never negative. Absolute value is distance from 0. Okay? Absolute value is never negative. It is distance from 0. You also need to be able to tell me if I have -7 minus a -4. What is the equivalent expression? What is the equivalent expression? Well, it's subtraction, so we got to KCO it. So our equivalent expression is going to be keep the first term, change that to addition, change that to its opposite. So that's my equivalent expression for that. Okay? That's about it, guys. So I'm going to merge these videos and get all this stuff put together and get it uploaded. And if you will just dig in, you're going to do great. I will see you in the morning.